Welcome back, folks, to Let's Get On With It Live. Yeah, my name is Grimith, and we play video games. Somehow, some way. It gets done. Really, it's a marvel of technology and life when you come to think about it. Tonight, we are back with Divinity Dragon Commander. We haven't played this on the channel for a week and a half. I left a warning on my Discord server where I run Discord viewer polls to determine what game I stream next. At the end of the last Divinity Dragon Commander broadcast, that hey, I fuck snapped during the during the broadcast. I got a headache, and while I'm leaving this game on the poll, it is entirely possible that you will run it into the ground, and I will just remove it from the poll because I'm sick of it. And I guess that lesson was taken to heart. This game won by one vote. It was a very close race. Which means that it will remain on the poll, unless I get sick of it tonight. This game, of course, was developed by a little tiny baby company for babies known as Larian Studios back in 2013. You've probably heard of Larian Studios since. They've done a number of things. This game is a fusion of political simulator, board war game, real-time strategy and battles, and turning into a fucking dragon with a jetpack equipped. Larian was in debt during development and cut money from this to fund Original Sin. The end result, is a sneeze, but at least I got that shit out of my system. Hell yeah. Let's click continue. And hopefully that's hopefully that will take us to the latest save. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to sift through the save log. Maybe I'll have to double check the save log anyway. So far, we've done 2 broadcasts of this, and some viewers have really glommed onto the ideas this game presents. Really entertaining and enjoyable. I will note that some viewers have also expressed confusion and or concern and or disinterest with the video game. I have received a couple of messages on the side about this experience. Whether it was the genocide card we just play on the board game part, the strategy map, and keep it moving, or some of our counselor dumb shit events. Looks like I'm on turn 25, and yeah, if I load into stream too, hey, what do you know? It saves at the top. What a concept. Yeah, okay. So, the last counselor vote that we had was a lizard-themed one to allow a referendum on republicanism, which the other 4 counselors said no to, and I, thinking I had a fucking war to win and didn't want to spend resources issuing out ballots to people in the empire we may or may not have that determined whether we should have a referendum on republicanism, I thought that all sounded intergalactically stupid. Well, I'm trying to win a war and don't know if I'm going to get to be emperor after this because I might lose the war. I recall having strong feelings, but that wasn't the only thing I had strong feelings about. So, it looks like I have a bunch of research. I didn't spend my research for the turn. So I guess I was saving up to do something fun with that. In addition, we also met with the demon that lives inside the airship. There were offers presented to us. I haven't taken the demon up on any of the offers, but I did consider, and possibly I'm still considering, turning our wife into a blood pet in exchange for power. Speaking of, we have a forced marriage. Chat voted hard with their channel points on who would be the wife. We are married to the Chief Justice of the Lizard Faction. The Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the Lizard Faction, there we go, who still holds her post, so congrats to her. Let's see here. Aura of Annihilation increases damage done around us. Ostensibly, we may be able to keep units alive around us. All enemy units are sabotaged for 10 seconds, which disables their primary functionality. Pillar of Restoration. Eye of the Patriarch. You unleash a single devastating ball of fury that inflicts ass loads of damage. Pillar of Flame and Call of Valor. Eye of the Patriarch. Kind of interested in a super big hit that takes a minute. How? Ooh, okay. Give me. How's this Pillar of Flame look? All right, it's a nice area of effect thing, but I don't have issues against smaller units with my attacks. This Eye of the Patriarch, though, we could stand to land a big hit. Yeah. Go ahead and hit me up with that. Give me that. Dragon Knight, research a Master Dragon skill. Hell yeah, let's go. Okay. It's turn 25. We have more than 2 cards, despite what the top left corner says. I don't have answers for your questions. Maybe. What was our game state? So I had several transports sunk over the course of gameplay, learning the mechanics of naval interception and at what phase things occurred, and also that just because you move a piece and unload troops with that piece, it doesn't fucking mean that that's actually going to be able to get to happen in that turn. So that was an educational experience. It looks like I have moved some units to attempt to engage this ironclad out here in the water. That includes an imp fighter. I also showed off that you cannot capture territory with just air units flying above it. Welcome in. Blue was our opponent in the first chapter. Blue here in this chapter is island locked and has never moved those transports over there. Has just shuffled around some ships and has built loads of military here on the capital. So congratulations. I, despite several setbacks in losing a number of military units on transports in the water, have managed to conquer a good amount of territory, I'd say. We have failed to capture this several times, thanks to my units getting drowned. But maybe eventually that shit can stop. It'd be nice to have like a tracker of what all units I have. That would be good. I would find that useful. Right, yellow still has the 8 armor over here. That's Farron. And then Sabille or Sibel is over here. Capital there. Whole lot of units over here. 5 Grenadiers, 4 Devastators, a bunch of armor and hunters. It's not realistically anything I could fight if the green bot actually threw all this shit at me. They are also fighting each other. So there's that. That's nice. Yeah. Okay. Do have a transport that is kept alive despite everything. Credit to it. There's an ironclad there. And I think the attack I was going to do this turn was this, and I don't think I was looking to mount any other attack this turn. Out of concern. Yes, out of concern. I'm willing to just... Let's give it back. Let's see if we can ease ourselves into this for the start of the broadcast. Again, a week and a half since I played, and I haven't played that much of the game anyway. Perhaps we can... We don't have any cards to play on our particular territories. As for unit purchases, give me another pair of imp fighters. I like the look of these imp fighters. Give me another pair of those, and end the turn. Carthan's built another pair of transports, this time in the capital, it looks like. So we might actually see an invasion by blue. Green's got a whole lot, and I don't know if I want to eat all of that whole lot, you know? It's pretty spooky. There you go. Move that shit down there, please. Looks like that's been taken over by Farron. But with all the Navy being sunk for blue, green, and myself. So I am only involved in one battle this turn. There are 2 other battles happening on the board this turn. They do not involve me. Hooray! That's important to note. Because I can only be present at one battle. And all the others that involve my troops, I have to auto-resolve. Inexpugna. That's taken over by yellow. We're doing mine here. 100% odds of victory, thanks to luck and popularity increase. 4% odds of victory. How does the map look? Okay. Sure. Skills-wise, we got some stuff to bring. Get rid of this ray of power nonsense. No one loves that. Give me the Eye of the Patriarch. Yes, Eye of the Patriarch. Alright. Time to remember how to control this game. I'm going to slow down the game at the start just to process. Oh good, it's already at slow. Not gonna be at slowest.
What's brewing? Standing by, impatiently.
Okay, I don't like this is gonna be an issue. I don't think. Normal speed, please. Looks like these fighters, you know, they try. Hey! Don't you go after. You stay back there. I already lost one. Well. Alright. We're good. No, no surprise, Akazar. No surprise there. And yellow seizes this from green. Generals cause massive havoc, branded child killers by the undead, and Emperor agrees. Dragon desperate to remain dictator, Republican referendum refused. Activists agree Emperor must be a woman. I thought we had like a counselor issue earlier on in this playthrough to cut out this sensationalist yellow journalism bullshit. Clearly, we don't actually respect the choices that I make. We just keep it moving and do some slider adjustments. Maxos uses tantric techniques to teach Dragon how to delay fireballs. Okay. Your policies have the following consequences. Your populace's motivation has decreased by 5%. The 7 bless you. Your luck has increased by 2%. So, because I've refused the referendum, the population is less motivated, but I've gotten 2% more luck, which translates to an extra 2% chance of winning auto-resolve battles. Yeah, the Rivlon Times is owned by dwarves. Also, by the way, this is an image of all of our counselor friends and the brides. Hello.
Those high and mighty counselors sure did a number on Henry. As if he's the one that caused so much trouble. Have they quite forgotten about Lord Drury's merry band of assassins?
So, last broadcast, Henry's daughter, or perhaps just one of Henry's daughters, was kidnapped. I allowed 2 of my other generals to go help Henry. Good news, his daughter appears to be okay, but the resulting confrontation with a bunch of assassins caused a lot of destruction and mayhem, and among other things, blew up an undead kindergarten, which the game presented with a bunch of humor and jokes, but also, what the fuck? So, yeah.
He's been asking me for a loan, you know. Being robbed of his gold. Asked for quite a lot, actually. But I guess I can't rightly refuse him. A begging man is more agonizing to look upon than a begging dog.
Okay.
You have a noble countenance about you, Commander. Lizard-like, almost.
Do you have any news to share?
General Henry got his comeuppance, Commander. I can only hope he'll reflect on his sentence with proper repentance and humility. Yet, knowing Henry, pigs will fly first.
Anything else?
So that evil-hearted dwarf survived the sea only to go to the gallows. Good. I'm glad to see Lady Camilla is made of the right stuff.
So, there was a circumstance involving like a dwarf and a lizard and a sinking boat, and some shit was happening there that our wife, being Chief Justice of the Lizard Faction Supreme Court, was dragged into resolving, and I, not giving a fuck because I have a war to win, was like, all right, yeah, sure, sounds reasonable. Just gotta keep it moving. Gotta go fight a war. Gotta go turn into a fucking jetpack dragon. Bye. Gotta play this genocide card. Bye.
You have a noble countenance about you, Commander.
All right. In the bar.
Justice has been done under the all-seeing eyes of the mighty Seven. He who has cast down the bones of our brethren has himself been cast down into the dust. I didn't quite know what to make of Henry's attitude, though. I found myself paying for his whole trip back to ship. He kept going on and on about how sorry he was. Another drink, Yorick, to alleviate my guilt. Another drink, Yorick, in memory of those poor children. What could I do but pick up the tab?
Squints at Henry. Henry?
Commander, a word in your ear. Now listen, your wife hung some shipwreck nobody. So be it. But today, she has before her Desmond Sapphire Cave, one of our top dwarven diplomats. Frankly, I don't care if he slaughtered school children for sport. What is imperative is that he is acquitted.
What the fuck is wrong with Larian Studios? Here in the year of our Lord 2013. Quit killing kids! Isn't the war bad enough? Do we have to keep having events and encounters that keep mentioning just slaughtering children and blowing them to pieces? What, over 20,000 casualties in this war of succession have happened already. People come to this channel for escapism. I play video games sometimes for escapism. Why you gotta kill the younglings? Is everyone fucking Anakin Skywalker here?
Why don't you have a chat with your wife? She's a stickler for the law. But you know what they say. Better safe than sorry. Very sorry.
I would be able to better approach the subject, if it were in a serious video game and not filled by this theater play where every character we encounter is a caricature who is chewing up the scenery in the theater play. Like, when everyone is Brian Blessed, no one is Brian Blessed.
Commander, have you heard about this disgusting dwarven defiler of women? Now, if he had taken his pick to one of his own kind's mines, I might not be making such a fuss. But it's an imp he molested, the revolting swine. Off with his ghoulies, I say.
What the fuck? This is all because of my forced marriage, because I had to marry someone. Mio spent hundreds of thousands of channel points to have me marry this lizard bride. And because of this, I'm now getting to hear about these court cases. I am fighting a war. I do not know if I will be alive in 5 turns from now. Thank you, Akazar. Thank you. Okay, well, guess I'm going to the Queen's quarters. Hey, apparently I'm being asked to weigh in on your court case, even though I'm the potential emperor-to-be who's currently fighting a war, and you're the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of your faction.
Hardly has one dwarf left my courtroom heading for the hangman when another is brought forth. He's some high-ranking politician this time. Oh, it's nice to see you, by the way. Accused of raping a chambermaid. The man is a barbarian and has an ill reputation, but without more solid evidence than the girl's testimony, I can see no other option than to acquit him on all charges.
Well, can't jail a man on hearsay until they're witnesses. There's nothing you can do.
It is during times as these that I lament the imperfections of justice. But if we deviate so much as a single step from the boundaries set by the law, anarchy and chaos start to claw at the very core of civilization. My path is clear.
What am I gonna do? Mansplain the fucking law to her with a dialogue choice? You know what? Apparently, also, by the way, Lizard Supreme Court repeatedly handles cases from other races, and so maybe, although she was billed as being the Chief Justice of her faction Supreme Court, maybe the Supreme Court is truly the most supremest of courts. I don't know. Frankly, I don't care. I have shit to do. Goodbye. I want to save up for any of these. What do we have here? Devastators, massive destructive charges over great distances. Any particular upgrades for the stuff I haven't grabbed? Right, I've grabbed everything I could in this, except for... Juggernauts can construct imp fighters to assist in battle. Each imp fighter requires 13 recruits to construct. We already, of course, have these imp fighters, which are weak against grenadiers and ironclads, and those things we were fighting in the sea were ironclads, so it's understandable that the ironclads are able to blow them apart pretty well. Can add some rocket pods to my hunters. Transports can have a blow-up feature. I'd like some autocast on things. This wouldn't be a novel concept for 2013. Video games like Warcraft 3 had already existed for several years with autocasting functionality, particularly since you, the player, might get dragged into being a dragon in first-person mode. And so controlling the abilities of all your units you can do while you're in that, but is more awkward. So autocasting would have been nice. And again, not a novel concept for a real-time strategy game. And Warcraft 3 has hero units you could be distracted by, but certainly not first-person dragon mode. Don't think that would have been difficult to program in, given the fact that the technology existed. Oh, what do I know, right? I'm not a game coder. Yes, the concept of territory is quite vague. You know what? Hunter rocket pods. Sounds neat. Grab those. I'm done here now. I had stuff to do. No punctuation on our saves. Alright, Henry.
It's over, Commander. I stood before a tribunal, was described as a maniac, a vandal, an arsonist, and even a murderer. But I bore it all with quiet dignity. My jaws clenched tighter than Prosper's ass.
That's the lizard
They
counselor.
took my land, my titles, what gold I had stored, but I stood in silence, not giving them the satisfaction of showing my rage.
I commented on this last broadcast, but Henry has a way of making every fucking thing sound like it's the most important thing possible.
Quite a change from the hothead Henry you know and love, isn't it, Commander? 'Twas down to Catherine and Scarlet, you know. Never would I have let those bastards of counselors unleash their barrage of injustice over me, had I not rested easily in the knowledge that thereby I was shielding the friends who came to my aid without as much as a thought for their own safety. My daughter came to no harm, and neither did my comrades in arms. All is well. Now, to toast them all with wine and beer, and again, and again. It'll have to be your treat, though, Commander. I'm penniless now, remember?
Yeah, so after all those people blew up in the collateral damage, I said, Henry, you gotta stand up for this, so he was put in front of the tribunal. But what's most important is that truly he has made friends by the sounds of things, and I'm glad for that. Friendship. Although Yorick may very well pay for the drinks. So, we've had a number of political decisions. From conscription, pretty fucking relevant, I think, given the war situation, to government health care, to foreign criminals, to imposing taxes on the Church of the Seven. Yeah, that seems pretty relevant for us, too. The medicinal use of certain narcotics, restrict the freedom of the sensational press, euthanasia, a referendum on republicanism. That was the least relevant one of the lot. We have popularity sliders. The lizards do like us the most. The dwarves dislike us the most. We've got some favorability with elves, imps, and undead. Steady as she goes, lads. We've lost quite a number of beautiful and wonderful individuals on the water. We've slain many more units. We've kept it moving. All right. Were those transports actually moved over here? Yes. They have transports over there now. They can actually start hauling out this very frightening amount of units. Ever so slowly. Cool. Great. Wonderful. I'm happy. Never been more thrilled. Alright. There's this ironclad there. This transport I might leave here crying. Or try to move back here. I'm not gonna attempt anything over here. I cannot sail through this anyway. Let's, take you back to the capital. Properly registering that I have 13 cards. Okay. Thinking about how I want to handle things. As much as I would like that island, gotta let it be for now. I can handle the gameplay of the turn. I can probably manage the turn. I can probably handle it. Looks like Carthan. Are these transports still down here? One of them is. Looks like the other is on the move. Okay. let's test out some other interception things. If I move you kids over here, my imp fighters, will that lock that transport there, or will it be permitted to keep moving? Because maybe it will be, maybe it won't be. I don't know. The Ironclads have 2 movement, and I think what I'm going to do is take the Ironclads over here into this region. As Carthan can't leave this fucking island if he's lost naval supremacy. Now, like, that doesn't help me resolve sea issues over here with, you know, things. I'm basically juggling Carthan on my own and hoping that these two spend themselves. I don't know how aggressive they are. What I do know is that I am uncertain I can handle the fighting of some of that shit. I am going to look around here. You have moved some of the armor out. Yes, keep it going south. Just keep moving south. That's a brilliant idea, and I strongly agree with you continuing to move it south. Okay. Seven imp fighters here, 2 armor, 3 troopers, 4 hunters. Okay. Buy 2 more ironclads? I think I will buy 2 more ironclads. Yeah. Strong against sea and air units. That's just not what I think of when I read the name Ironclad, a destroyer of air units. But sure. A 10% discount. Thanks to our conscription. 10% for air and sea units, 20% for ground units. Tended to invest in here. Building more units to shut the shuttle this way. Or here. Thinking about where this transport might take those free units that were received now thanks to that naval invasion. I remember having a bunch of free units I received. They're dead now. Single tier falls. Yeah, let's make some choices. We'll go from there. Possibly we'll be able to recover. If the game shows that it has some teeth, then we'll go from there. I don't know about being able to invade this, but if I keep him locked, I could at the very least pluck these out. Unfortunately, these islands are shitty for me. They are dwarven population. These guys don't like me, so I don't get a whole lot from these islands. That's undead. No, it's not so bad. It's the capital. It's not so bad. Okay, maybe I need to focus down someone, he says, looking at 7 hunters, 11 troopers, 4 armor, 10 grenadier. Uh-huh. Yes, focus down someone. Okay. I got a plan. I have the beginnings of a plan. Two more ironclads. Cannot fit in the transport, alas. Just 2 more ironclads. All right. And I'll end the turn there. I shuffled around some naval units. I'm not looking to do anything over here other than try and hold this territory. I end my turn. Okay, uh-huh. Ooh, that's a very nice card to play for a turn, earning 26 gold income there. You two keep having fun over there. Please. By all means. Okay. So, they are continuing to have fun. And we're going to have 2 combat engagements. One here, where these imp fighters are taking on this transport, and one here where you may have seen some units being loaded into the transports. I have the 3 ironclads here. Yay! The enemy's ironclads will... Oh, no! What a card! Also, Sky Shadowing. Appreciate it. Accept that money. I'm sure Big Twitch will enjoy theirs. Okay. So my ironclads will fire 75% slower, huh? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. It's a way to shut down my offense. Let's see here. Those won't help me. I could have my ironclads move 75% faster. The best odds if I don't participate in this battle are going to be from Edmund. 6% luck. But I think I should probably participate in this battle. Yeah, I'll participate in it. And maybe with the extra speed of my ironclads, I can stall until the dragon comes out. I don't know. Yeah, my ironclads fire slower. That's rude as hell.
What's brewing? Drawing the iron curtain. Adding coal to the fire.
Oh my god, they move so fast.
Adding coal to the fire. Just getting me a beer, sir.
Are they gonna divide their... Are they gonna divide? Are they gonna split up? Split up. Split up. Yes! Split up! Drop some mines there. We destroyed a unit with an ironclad sea mines. Okay, cool.
We'll be back before happy hour. But I was just getting me a beer, sir. But I was just getting me a beer, sir. But I was just getting me a beer, sir.
God, shut up with that line.
Dropping nautical mines.
Just getting me a beer, sir. Just getting me a beer, sir. Just getting me a beer, sir. You heard about the beer I was getting? I'm getting it.
Adding coal to the fire. Adding coal to the fire.
It's like I couldn't get them close enough to the mines there.
Drawing the iron curtain. More steam power.
Fucking dwarves, man.
Power. Drawing the iron curtain.
Yeah, I think this extra speed has, yeah, I think this extra speed in the ironclads has, Wake up.
Adding coal to the fire. We'll be back before happy hour.
Right, it's not space to deploy, it's R to deploy. Oh, I cannot bring the dragon out. Well, it's for the best that I came out here to fight this battle anyway.
I was just getting me a beer, sir. Oh,
So we really care about line of attack of this game. And the ironclads can block other ironclads. And they can also definitely be blocked by terrain, which makes sense given, you know, the torpedoes and water. Let's go. Let's, out of curiosity, we haven't taken this game speed up this high before. On fastest, with how fast these ironclads are moving now, let's go.
We'll be back before happy hour. Dwarfs on a ship. Who would have thought? Adding coal to the fire?
I was like, man, it takes me a long time to fire. And I'm like, right, yeah, the cooldown, the refractory period.
Dwarfs on a ship. Who would have thought? More steam power.
The refractory period, thanks to the fucking card they played.
Dwarfs on a ship. Who would have thought?
Hey, they did land a trooper here. And I don't think I can kill the trooper
Iron curtain.
with the ironclads. Because I can't attack the ground unit with that. There we go. We had to get close enough to someone to allow the trooper to leap into the water and blow up on all of us. Thankfully, the ironclads are sturdy enough that when I parked all of them there, I didn't lose all of the iron. Good. I'm glad that's a thing that could happen. Great. The alternative was me being soft locked, so. All right. Clean up the transports and the shit on them, as well as the one ironclad. Hooray! Meanwhile, over here, Yellow manages to hold green at bay. Only lose a little bit. Meanwhile, a popularity penalty. All right, Edmund, I'm willing to pay your 8 gold here. I don't know, man. It's an extra 2% chance. It's just I'm paying for an extra 2% chance on that one? No, I'm not paying 8 gold for that. If I lose both of these fighters, then I just lose both of these fighters. If they can't handle that transport, then what the fuck? Then I'd just take the L and go from there. Anyway, I like being able to intercept like that. The air, that feels good. Feels good. That feels appropriate as well. Good. And over here, oh, Yellow manages to take this from Green. One armor carrying the day there. Dwarven diplomat DSC walks free. Will rape again, agree soothsayers. General stripped of titles and lands will be paid a fortune by Elven standard for exclusive interview. The brutal clash of war and modern civilization. Reporter's ongoing investigation on genocide. Well, I'm really glad we're playing this game today, everyone. People sending me messages about how bleak suzerain is and how much it reminds them of real things. And that's why they don't want to fucking vote for that game again to do more sessions of that. Welcome to our upbeat video game here, known as Divinity Dragon Commander. That's all tongue-in-cheek, very, very happy-go-lucky and fun times. Yeah, how is this game more dark than Suzerain? How could it be, you know... Well, I wouldn't say darker, but we got plenty of bleakness. My queen has rewarded me with a sabotage bomber balloons card. Be still, my beating heart! I can play a card to stop bomber balloons from being able to take action for a turn. Thank God! Anyway. Looks like we got some shit to handle. We cannot go to the strategy map. We have to have a chat with General Henry first. What's up, everyone?
You taught our enemy the meaning of defeat, Commander, but already I'm aching to give them another lesson. Come, to battle!
How are we gonna be victorious in the end, Scarlet? That's your name, right?
To be in the...
Or you're Catherine, you're
to
Scarlet,
be in
yeah.
the thick of... We may well, but it still takes but a look upon the globe to see enemy colors all about us.
Also, if you haven't seen the barmaid/barkeep back there, delightful.
Impressive victory, Commander. You fight like a lion, which is almost as good as a lioness.
How do you think the war is going?
I'm cautiously optimistic. Stand fast, don't back down, and we may get there in the end.
How about you fucking twat? With your tuppences and your threepences.
What a splendid victory that was. Your strategic insight almost rivals my own.
Our conquest of Rivellon is faring well, wouldn't you agree?
Don't count your dragons before they are hatched, Commander. Hubris is a subtle trickster.
Yeah, it's wild for you to be educating me about hubris. All right, Henry.
Come to have a chat, Commander. Just as well, for I've been meaning to have a word with the dragon myself. Remember when I told you about losing my arm and eye? How I lost it standing guard for your father, an emperor unworthy of his throne? Well, telling you got me thinking, as well as drinking. And here's the conclusions I've come to. I was different then, you see. And not just because I was more man and less machine. No. The day they hacked me up good, there was much more that I lost. In that arm lay stored loyalty and duty. In that eye, trust and friendship. Out the door, just like that. But lately, they've been clawing at it, wanting to come back in. We've got a fine bunch of generals here, Commander. And there's Edmund too, but let's not open that particular can of worms. No, it's the girls, Scarlet and Catherine. Guess I've never come closer to women without wanting to get in their pants. I respect them as officers, I really do. And I think that should history repeat itself, they would stand by me as we make our last stand. Not run like the mongrels that still stain my memories. If there's trust to be had, I think they've earned mine, Commander. As of you. The sins of your father need not be yours. You have my sword and my friendship too. There! Now you know. So enough of this sentimental elf talk and let's drink! To us! To the Raven! To victory!
Scarlet's fucking sparkling eye back there, really, really not helping this moment. So, I'm glad we could help Henry find friendship, perhaps even intimacy. Without the trappings of sex. All it took was him to lose his wealth. He'll make it up at more poker card games with the other generals. All right, cool.
Stand in the park.
Great. So that's that. Understood. No notes. Give up over. Okay. Oh, hey, bomber balloons. Yeah. I could perhaps maybe look to get some of those. Ironclads can fire high-powered lasers for 18 seconds that shoot down any incoming projectiles in an 1,100 meter radius. Imp Fighter passive. Imp Fighter's not only damage, but slow enemies as well. Kind of like this on guard bit involving our dudes. But Imp Fighters, we're also making some use of that too. You can see how that would be helpful. I'd see how this Ironclad thing would be helpful too. That's an ability I have to activate. So, I think I have control of the water this turn, though. I think I do. Just grab that. All right. Well, that was fun, everyone. Now, thanks to the Queen gifting me a Bomber Balloon Sabotage card, we can get on with play. Okay. Let's see. Are there any bomber balloons to sabotage? There could be some over here on the left. Let's not lose hope yet. I mean, there's some neutral ones. Yellow's got a lot of transports. I hope that's not my problem. I would like for that to not be my problem. If you could make that not my problem, that'd be super, super, super swell. Okay. We just have the one transport here? Guess we just have the one transport here. Alright. What am I loading up in the one transport? That's an academy, so you can't build more units there. We can actually do some shit without getting units killed? What a novel concept. What a time to be alive. 2 armors. That's math. That's better than 1. Let's take that. And I'm going to shoot over the Ironclads here to join forces with these. I can just keep this army locked here. Starve this shit out. I say starve out as if, you know, there's like food mechanics. But in the sense of like, they're just locked there. And you Imp Fighters are going to join here. I like what I'm able to do with these Imp Fighters. I'm very, very satisfied with them. It's right that I can't conquer territory with them. I agree with that design decision. And I'm seeing a bunch of, like, weak spaces here for me to interfere. Got a lot of money. Got a lot of bread. I am going to make some sturdier units over here. The armor's weak against troopers. Because I'm looking at the armor-heavy, like, build that I'm seeing over here. I might push over to the space next turn, now that Yellow has shifted things down, and they might shift things back up. I'd like to see some of Green's, like, arsenal here spent before I ever try to move into that space. Like, I don't pass on that, but Yellow, we might have a spin at. Of course, keeping an eye on the transports, we could end up seeing things landed on me. By Yellow. Yeah, okay. Give me 2 armor here. I can build 1 more unit. Right now, the price of this is 11. I think I'm gonna do that. And then... 3 more imp fighters over here. I've played enough World War II video games. I've had enough World War II beaten into my head over the course of my life. All right. I want to do anything about anyone's hunters? I don't think so. Not this turn. These dragon skill things I'm less keen about. These would obviously be used in combat. Okay. Let's go ahead and end my turn. I think I'm fine ending my turn here. How are my relationships with everyone? Okay. They're okay. I don't think the imps were too thrilled about the justice decision. I don't know why I'm getting blamed for that. But whatever, man. She's your wife, why don't you interfere? Like, we just got married. Hello? Ah. We're fine. It's probably fine. Presume Yellow's going over there to pick up the units on the islands? Yellow's going over there to pick up the islands. Makes sense. There was more troops over there that Yellow's able to grab too, and I lost out on multiple attempts to take this damn island. I'm fine with that. So I see this, and I see this. Obviously there's this. And there's this happening over here. I like to think that these ironclads have this handled. Thanks, 6% luck. Big fan of that. Go get them, Imperial Army. Good. And then over here, I'm getting involved. There's a bonus from entrenchment here that the Carthan gets. But I'm throwing myself on the board. We have some imp fighters, some armor, a transport, and we got ourselves a land map. Look at this sucker. Look at how prettiful this is. Two lakes. Any cards I want to play? I don't think so. I don't think this is a situation that requires the cards. Let's get going to battle. These are my skills, I agree. I need to tone down the fastest speed. Please. We'll go in the opposite direction so I can have a look at the map. Thank you, tutorial, I guess. I don't know what I'm capturing, but let's go capture whatever I'm capturing.
Construction underway, Commander. Playtime is fun, but when does the killing begin?
When does the killing begin?
I've got big guns and I cannot lie. I've got big guns and I cannot lie.
Understood. No notes.
I will drench their torn banner in blood. I will drench their torn banner in blood. Playtime is fun, but when does the killing begin? I'll leave a trail of smoke and flame. Big guy coming through. Of course, my lord. We fight for freedom. Of course, my lord. We fight for freedom.
Let's, I hear that armor is apparently weak against imp fighters. That's what I heard on the news report, so...
All is ours for the taking.
I also hear that troopers are apparently,
Those are enemy armors.
weak against armors, so...
All
I think I'm just going to use this situation to try and clean this one up fast. Although those armors are escaping to capture more stuff, and I don't have anyone going to capture stuff. Uh-oh. Run! Why are all of you going? Don't all of you go. Ah, the troopers are just constantly blowing up, Bob. Okay, this idea, it was a fun idea. I liked the idea. I don't regret the idea. We tried the idea. You doing anything over here, bud? Kinda just thought I'd end this map early, you know? Let's desummon you for a moment. And send you kids back out over here. I'm not even recruiting. You know? I was like, whatever. But,
Unit is being manufactured, Commander.
there you go.
Roll out momentarily, Commander.
Yeah, okay, that worked. Good.
Constructed to fight. Every move is a step closer to victory, my lord. Trooper ready to march.
All right.
The Emperor's enemy is my enemy.
Hey, they even got that recruitment citadel along the way with their various movements and swirlings. My transport's hanging out there in the water. I think it's doing fine. Hello there. How you doing? Okay, that does all right against buildings. Good to lab this stuff out, you know? All right. Just go ahead and win this map here. Very good armor. Very good. There was some time there where we were, you know, behind in units, of course. We did lose a little bit of stuff, but we managed. Yeah, we're fine. Cool. No problems. That island is now ours. 50-50. Green wins the 50-50! Man. All right. Winning more territories does not help the Empire with its personality crisis, sneers Seer. Imp Pilot finds latest invention not really useful, but we've had a couple of good laughs, though. The Emperor is a monster. My general's actions. Henry has gained a level in Fearsome, and he's given me a card to have Juggernauts fire slower. That would have been useful, like, earlier when we were seeing Juggernauts on the board, but it could be useful again. And Maxos presents me with this card. Sure. Yeah. Stands to reason. I like big guns. Very good. Very good. Let's go to the throne room, everyone.
Commander, if we elves think something is of supreme importance, it is the happiness of all people. For those with rejoicing hearts do no evil and look upon the world with kindness. We also believe they will fight harder for their country if pressed. For a new overlord may not hold their welfare in high regard. Clearly, this will benefit you in times of need. So, how can we increase the happiness of a huge part of your citizenry? By allowing them to form unions, so they can stand up for themselves better. What do you say?
I don't think he's referring to marriage with unions. Okay. Uh-huh. Unionize in... Okay. Okay. I'm willing to hear you out, I guess. Yorick, let's go down the line.
Unions? What blasphemy. People shouldn't emancipate themselves in factories. They should prostrate themselves before the gods in the Seven's glorious temples. Let the people organize and they'll suddenly make all sorts of silly demands. Advocate not happiness, Commander, but humility.
So, that's going to be a no from Yorick. Don't emancipate yourselves in factories. Prostrate yourselves before the before the gods in the Seven's glorious temples. You do realize that we have to build things in factories, right? I don't pray to the Seven and they give me big guns. All right, so spend all the time you're thinking about unionizing going to church instead.
Typical elven wishy-washy nonsense. Unions indeed. Nothing but organized trouble, led by work-shy ne'er-do-wells. Don't you fall for Oberon's tricks, Commander.
Absolutely no surprise. The sheen of gold there in the eyes.
It's not that the idea of unions offends me, Commander, but in times of war, we just cannot afford the side effect unions tend to bring about. Strikes, protests, you know the sort of thing. No, I advise against Oberon's proposal.
Yeah, I'm strongly getting the feeling this is an elf-specific pitch, because our attitude with the elves is so high, much like we got the Republicanism referendum because our attitude with the lizards was so high. And it seems that not even the lizards are on board with unions. In times of war, we just cannot afford the side effects unions tend to bring about. Oh, but we can give ballots to everyone to vote on whether they want to have a republic during times of war? That's right, Arcane Rogue. That's fucking right. That's right, Carmine. That's right. That's right, Tangle. That's right. We are in synergy.
Frightfully bad idea, Commander. You allow unions, and before you know it, concerns about working conditions are raised. They'll shut down every arms factory we own. Won't make us imps any happier, that.
I am truly delighted by the imp stance here being like, yo. What the fuck do you mean, unions? Those will shut down our sweet factories. No. We have things the way we like them in our system. Never mind that it blew up our princess. Accidents happen. So,
Frightfully bad idea, Commander. You allow unions,
I want to listen
and
to this
before
again.
you know it, concerns about working conditions are raised. They'll shut down every arms factory we own. Won't make us imps any happier, that.
Let's think about like a game mechanic thing. Allowing unionization is likely going to improve, you know, public, like, and popular support, which is not like necessarily tethered to these factions, just general like population support. And that sounds like it'd be pretty nifty, helping me do stuff across the board. It's going to lower my attitude with everyone else, except for the elves. It may very well lower my income per turn. I could see this as a thing that the game would say lower my income. And there could be some other stuff attached to it as well. I don't know, and I don't want people to tell me. If I refuse this, this will make everyone but the elves delighted. Understandably, upset the elves. I imagine, like, public support and motivation is going to go down. If I'm thinking that the first choice is going to lower my income, then rejecting unions probably increases my income by the same twisted logic that was involved with taxing / not taxing the 7. That could be it, Carmine. It could be it. I'm going to go ahead and say no here. I'm going to hold consistent to my line of thinking of I am in the middle of a fucking war right now. And the Lizard Council are throwing like, hey, yo, we're in a war right now. No unions.
This would have been the first step towards the betterment of your fellow man, Commander. Needless to say, I am sorely disappointed, as every other elf in the realm will be.
I got an achievement called Another Day, Another Dollar.
Very wise of you, Commander. Humble people do not question. They accept. And the 7 love them for it.
Good show, Commander. Our laborers have more than enough rights as it is. The right to work and hold their tongues, for instance. The right to be glad with the wages they get.
Well, of course, like, once the war is over, we're done here, right? The story's done being told. A melted egg, I wouldn't focus on that so much as I would the facial animations when Yorick speaks.
People do not question. They accept. And the 7 love them for it.
Very good, Commander. Unions tend to be run by small-minded people. And in these times of chaos, we need people who can see the bigger picture.
In my story, I like to think of this as Prospera telling Oberon to go fuck himself after he expressed his opinions about the Republicanism vote.
Dodged a bullet there, Commander. Union folk are like annoying brats, you know. Never content with what they have, and when you give them a good slap, 10 of their number come running howling like banshees.
Alright. Well, we've heard the thoughts of Yorick, Oberon, Sir Falstaff Silvervein, Prospera, and Trinculo Shortfuse. Strong showing from the lot, I do believe. Strong showing. I don't need to talk to you kids.
Shall I tell you about the dreams I had, my lord, or had you rather we move right on to business?
Where do you think the technology you create comes from?
The wizard will say it's all his doings, of course, but I know he's keeping secrets from me. Half of the things I hammer together he never even showed me. No, the Raven did. She is alive, somehow. She likes me. She instructs me. She must have been there all along to help your father conquer the world. One hell of a girl, wouldn't you say, Commander?
See you later, Groovio. And what kind of research are we grabbing here today? Could be Devastators. Massive behemoths for me. Could upgrade the units I have. Armors can deploy ground mines that automatically cloak. That sounds pretty interesting. We can have Ironclads have that fucking wild-ass laser, but I am missing one research point. Sure, let's get cloaking mines. That sounds pretty neat.
generals speak highly of your strategic abilities, you know. And well, they should.
We've talked to you about all this stuff already. Nothing I feel like grabbing in here. I kind of like what I got going. You doing okay in here, Corvus?
Approach. Yes, approach, O dragon. My blood rouses when you near.
So this is Corvus, the demon inside our airship, / possibly our airship. Corvus wants blood. And Maxos, the wizard, has tethered Corvus so that Corvus cannot get blood. But we could greenlight Corvus getting blood. Corvus can bathe me in power, devour some people. Corvus can improve my standing with one of the factions by lowering my standing with everyone else, or we can give Corvus our wife. I don't know. Anyway, you have yourself a good one, Corvus. I gotta go now. Okay, I like big guns. I don't need to roll back these choices I've made. I'm fine with them. So, we took this island. Yippee skippy to us. Our yields from it should improve as we get some more relation with the dwarves next turn, I imagine. We're gonna load the transport up. We also have an academy. Hopefully we get some cards out of that. That'd be super swell in the coming turns. Keep the dream alive. Load you up in the transport. Now, they do have a war factory over here, so they can pretty easily churn out troops. Carthan, excuse me, to thwart me. I also see this ironclad out here, and I do not like it in a house. I do not like it with a mouse. Of course, this ironclad's been floating around here for some time, and I just haven't gone to do anything about it. And speaking of going to do anything, am I willing to take this now? Yellow and green seem to be having a thing here, and I could aggress toward this. But, you know, I think I'm willing to... We'll call it like a blood truce right now. I won't go left with either of them for now. And we'll see if they go right against me. We'll let them have it out, and maybe we'll have a talk with our half-sibling after the fact, you know? Yeah, okay. So I have 3 imp fighters over here. Now I'm told that ironclads do well against imp fighters. I am informed this. Now that you have been loaded up, I'm thinking about whether I actually want to press this attack or not. I won't even be able to reach this turn to make the attack anyway. I could dive back into home with my moves, but otherwise the transport has to sit out. It might spoil while it's sitting out. Wink. If I produce a transport here, it's still going to take me a couple turns to whip over here. Because I'd have to move out, and there's multiple regioning here that needs to be done to get over here to this island. This isn't a priority. It would be nice to just concentrate Carthan entirely on the capital, though. Can only build ships there at the capital. Because you can build ships here. Ah! Undo. Didn't mean to click that. You can build ships in these war factories that are coastal. Or like a 2v1 situation, I get involved with that. Do I even want to leave anyone here to defend this? I don't think so, no. You go over there. Take them back. Disgorge them. Okay. Give me another 2 transports. Replace the ones that I've lost. In addition, give me 2 of these. I think I might grab another 2 of those. I'm thinking about what I might use to invade this island. Provided this blue ironclad isn't able to whip away from me and sink all these things somehow. Based on my understanding of the game mechanics, let's just go ahead and grab ourselves 1 ironclad. Yeah, this will be fine. Sure. Yeah, we'll just do the 1 ironclad. Just in case I need to replace any losses that come up over the course of gameplay. Nothing invested over here. For the turn. That'll be that. I end it now. Are you having another go at it? Okay. I have fewer ironclads there now, but okie dokie. There go the balloons. I think, well... I think, Yellow has spoken, haven't they? With 2 fucking Devastators. I think Yellow has spoken, and maybe we don't let those Devastators off that fucking island. I think the choice has been made here. It makes sense. This is pretty, like, lightly defended. I'm not saying they're wrong. Yeah, I think the Imperial Army can handle this one. Goodbye. Of course, you know, it was a truce until I went over and fucking killed them anyway, so... Some fucking truce, right? So, I'm kind of torn on this one. I really want to focus on that naval fight. But this one really does matter. More so, I think. They hired a Zeppelin. We don't have anything targeting their Devastators. It's worth noting that I have a 38% chance to win here, thanks to my luck and popularity increase for this island. 62, 51. What is math? Don't worry about it. You're asking too many questions. Let's play that card. Now we're up to a 65% chance to win. We can have our hunters fire faster. It'll be 2 hunters firing. They don't have any shamans to produce slower. That ups my odds a little bit. Scarlet here, 88%. 75% chance to win, I guess. That's how math works. Yeah. Get paid 11, defensive and patient. Those are my best odds. Am I willing to leave this on a 75% chance? I don't have any cards to play for the sea fight. Well, actually, I suppose I do have a card to lower the attack range there by 50% for auto-resolving that. I can only participate in one fight directly a turn, as a reminder, so I'm just thinking of whether I want to handle this fight and then trap the Devastators here, or whether I want to handle that naval fight. What's the map look like? Okay. Let's go on the board and see these Devastators in action, then. He says waffling? Like what? Like, this gets auto-resolved. It's not like I want to bring shit from over here. Yeah, okay. Fickle Grimith changing his mind. Go get him, Scarlet. I don't employ my generals enough anyway. Good news, guys. The Devastator... We took it down to one Devastator, and then it blew up everything else. Scarlet? This is why we don't trust our generals. This is the first time they've let us down. Look at this. All right. So be it. We lose the Imp Island. And I did not need to be here. Understood. Understood. I spent 8 gold hiring Scarlet. She failed, and then I wasn't needed for that fight anyway. I thought I would have some chance of failure with that fight. Didn't know if there would be any cards played against me, just due to how the turn ordering happened there. Oh well. Workers' rights refused, Oberon goes ballistic, Fiddlesticks, Emperor finds one battle does not make a war, linguistic rage before he was famous. We have the Emperor's childhood pictures. We're back up to max. Relation with the lizards. Elves are down to 75%, dwarves up 35, imps 85, undead 60. Our populace's motivation has decreased by 6. We have received an additional 3 gold per turn. Great. Oh well. Comes and goes. We'll have a chat with the Devastator later. They are strong against ground units, sea units, and buildings, but weak against air units. Oh well. All right. What's up?
Commander, I have seen many an inequity in my time. Gods know I've been responsible for a few. But this conviction of an innocent imp is the worst I've ever encountered, and may all my gunpowder turn to flour if that's not the truth. First, she must endure that evil gnome's touch, and then it is she who is sent to the mines. But perhaps the most heinous thing of all is that Lady Camilla actually defends these miscarriages of justice. Never would I have thought that she'd be such a cold-hearted female canine.
Ha ha! Dearest Desmond walks free. I'm about to join him for dinner. But first, I wanted to congratulate you and lovely Camilla for staging a mighty fine display of justice. Between you and me, Commander, honestly, if we'd all been convicted each and every time a lady yells when we're being, nudge nudge, a bit too forward, wink wink, we'd all be in jail, eh? Am I right?
I'm gonna love with you, chat room. I'm kind of considering uninstalling this game. We'll put a pin in that thought.
You fight with cunt.
Stand in the path of a dragon knight and you'll be...
Hi. I'm glad I get to visit the Queen's quarters at certain government-designated times. What's going on in here?
Well, my dear husband, here's an interesting turn of events. Remember Desmond Sapphire Cave, the dwarfen diplomat and chronic maid molester? After I acquitted him, he sued that poor imp girl for slander and won. It is she who is now serving a year-long sentence in the salt mines of Carcross, whereas he is enjoying a victory feast in the capital's most expensive restaurant as we speak. Irony and tragedy sure make for happy bedfellows today, don't they?
Why are you married to one the Navi? What? I don't know how to answer that question because I don't know what the question is asking me. Oh, the Dragon Emperor's Bride was chosen by Chad. Gotcha. Yeah. The Dragon's Emperor Bride was chosen by Chad. Many channel points were spent in the Dao Ring, and we ended up with the Chief Justice of the Lizard Supreme Court. So I need to have a response for this? Yeah, these are lizards. I can understand your confusion. So my two replies are, seems to me it is tragedy that's wearing the pants in this particular relationship, or the law is a fickle guide, isn't it? I'm gonna step away from the computer for a few minutes. I'm gonna go get a drink. Maybe see how I feel about Divinity Dragon Commander when I come back. But if I click out of the game window here, it might select something. I mean, I just clicked out of the window to select AFK. I think I dodged it. I'll be right back. Let me catch up with Chad. Well, see, Olive writing, I voted for this. Can I belatedly change my vote to Wrestling Empire? It's here. Karlax, Opius Dark, Arcane Rogue, Tangled String. So, I typically do not eat on broadcast. Decided to make myself a hamburger and chew through a few things. Although it is too hot. That's what I get. Yeah. So, the war game, board game stuff is alright. And the real-time strategy stuff is alright. That I played through it. I find it an interesting choice, and a compelling design to only be able to directly participate in one battle per turn. Alas, you cannot see all of the battles in advance. To know which one for sure you want to direct yourself to, you have to take them in sequence. So I ended up in a situation there where we trusted the auto-resolve. Well, I didn't trust. We attempted the auto-resolve. And I didn't need to get involved directly with the other fight. I overwhelmed too much. I didn't know if any cards we played or if it was going to say something less than 100%, because I didn't really want to lose that stuff at sea. Imp fighters are fairly expensive. What I lost on the island, not that big of a deal in comparison. And we did inflict some real losses there. Yeah, that's fine. The real-time strategy stuff, it's alright. You have the first person, I'm a fucking dragon stuff. I guess it's third person. You're behind the dragons, back. You're a jetpack dragon. That's pretty cool. Problem with those elements. Take away the novelty of being a fucking dragon. What I'm left with is a game that's less interesting than a Total War video game. If I want the moving pieces around between battles, I can just go play a Total War game that's built for that stuff, and it's more fun, right? There are Total War games older than Divinity Dragon Commander. There are Total War games newer than Divinity Dragon Commander. There are some fantasy ones. There's some historical ones. I can just pick one and go have that experience, and it'd be better because it's specifically catering to that than what Divinity Dragon Commander provides. Of course, you don't get to turn into a fucking jetpack dragon during any of those. But you gotta make do. Right. So, Divinity Dragon Commander, what Larian Studios has made here is a combo package of these various elements. And part of this combo package to experience everything Divinity Dragon Commander has to offer is in this role-playing political simulator aspect. We're ruling our empire. You are the emperor and you make the decisions, but beware, political balance is easily upset. Each game is different and you'll find that a dragon commander needs to make really tough decisions. Feel the effects of your decisions on the battlefield as the war progresses. So, I don't get that feeling from playing this video game. Store page, marketing, advert stuff from Larian Studios. I don't have an investment in any of these characters because all of the characters none of them are real. And you're like, well, no shit, Grimith, it's a video game. No, none of them are human. You're like, well, no shit, Grimith. Look at them. No. You're not understanding me. They're all caricatures. They're cardboard cutouts. They are emoting. And I keep going back to the concept of a theater play where you have to really turn up the emotions and boom with your voice so that everyone in the theater can grasp what's happening. All of the characters are that. Just that. Non-stop. All the time. But you can do that and still be serious. But this game is not serious? But I don't sense that it's going for a parody or a satire. It's not a sartorial, like, role-playing experience. By all the marketing standards, it is looking to connect in a serious way with the player. But from these cardboard cutouts emoting, the dialogue they give me is... It's not whiplash so much as a complete disconnect from everything that's been pitched and our dialogue choices that we've received over the course of everything being pitched. I'm not invested in any of them, and I've had difficulty investing in the choices that they present me, with the choices they present me, and it's not a situation of, like I've conveyed before, that I would rather sit at a table and play a role-playing game than do one, like, digitally. It's that the choices and the decisions presented to you suck. They just fucking suck. Look at the build-up to what's happened here, I guess, with my Lizard Queen, who is Chief Justice of the Lizard Supreme Court, and everything that's happened. Here are my inputs that I can provide to this. What sliders or things nuzzled with my forced marriage wife will they adjust? I don't know. Do I care? Probably not. Yes, they are digital Muppets, Larian Studios. And, like, they're pretty cardboard cutouts. You know, I can imagine, like, how the Imp Counselor will respond to a situation. I can imagine how the Undead Counselor will respond to a situation. Right? So, these caricatures, these puppets, yeah, okay, like, alright, you plug them in a spot, and I have a grasp of how they might respond to that spot. You ever take a curveball that Prospera might throw at you when the elves want to unionize? But none of these choices feel meaningful to me, other than how they might impact me from a strategic choice. I'm not invested in the value of these choices from a roleplay perspective, from a storytelling perspective, from an I'm hoping to build a future empire and govern my people perspective. And that seems to be what the design is going for. So this has completely missed the mark. So the consequences of the choices are hidden until after you pick them, but they're all ingrained. And I would care about knowing that, but you'd want to hide that, of course, for the roleplay value of it, but I'm not getting any roleplay value of it. Now, through most of these, you can just keep playing and ignore the choices, and choices are auto-made for you. But then we just go back to the board game and the real-time strategy battles, which are less interesting than if I just played a different video game that had me moving pieces around a board. You know? Some turn-based elements, some real-time battles. Yeah. Don't have story in them. Oh, can tell those stories just fine. Yeah. I am willing to keep playing as I chew through my hamburger slowly. But I do not know what this video game could do that would have me change my mind about the... I have seen no evidence thus far that this game is capable of turning it around in the roleplay storytelling section, so I'll put it like that. Yes, Jonathan. Now, it is understandable that some decisions may be disguised, and I get the value of that. And for a role-playing storytelling aspect, 100% on board for that. Darklands, that ancient Darklands game comes to mind as an example of, on the lowest difficulty levels, it'll, you can mouse over a decision, it'll show you stuff. And then at higher levels, doesn't really show you stuff. Darklands is very much a storytelling game when it's not being an insufferable pain in the ass. That is not a video game I am ever eager to play again in my life. But it's a unique experience, Darklands. I will give it that. Divinity Dragon Commander is a novelty. But what does the video game possess when the novelty wears off? The answer is, You could just go play a better video game released at the same time or even before this time. I'm not comparing it to 2025 examples. I'm comparing it to stuff at the time. And I'm wondering whether the decisions made due to limited budget, let's say you give them $10 million or whatever. Does this story still suck? Do these choices still suck? Are all of these characters still in Brian Blessed mode?
Is there anyone in Rome who has not slept with my daughter? Cheswick? Welsh horses?
Just... Everything I say is the most important thing that I've ever said to you. That's kind of an eye roll. I'm not... It was fucking 12 years ago. It's... Akazar is also mentioned as well, and I'm just whatever. I kind of wave a dismissive hand at it.
This is how video games were made in 2013. This is the style and things that were gone for.
Bitch, it's the style that some video games now go for. It's just... That is not a persuasive technique on me. I don't relate to that cultural argument, I guess. No. I don't see the choices made here as LOL 2013. I want developers to try things with video games, because with thousands of video games in existence, I want to experience different types of things with video games. Understandably, developers and the publishers backing them, if they do have those, can be disincentivized to try different things given money and what, like, the money they have and the money they're going to make from a video game. I say that now turning toward this particular video game, and just like, it's the things it tries are largely swings and misses for me. It's not the first time that's happened in a video game that I've sat down and played and gone, they're trying stuff. Just doesn't do anything for me. This video game does not cater to me. Nor does it have to, but it is difficult for me to recommend the experience. Unless you are really into being a jetpack dragon. If you were enamored by the process of being a jetpack dragon, and, or, you know, really like these cardboard cutouts, if the story connects with you in a way that it doesn't for me and many of my chatters, then this video game could be for you. Alright, I'm gonna go wash my hands, get off this Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, and then I'll get back to playing. I guess I'll make a choice on the screen as part of getting back to playing. See you in a few. I hear you, Carmine. I get you. You know where you're coming from. Right. As I refasten my compression braces. Divinity Dragon Commander. Back after not just AFKing, but a rare food break during a broadcast. For not to eat during broadcasts. That has been known to happen. Just needed to have a ponder about this video game and assess my feelings. This choice. Do I still not care about this choice? Do I... Does it even matter? Do I even care? Alright. Let's remove the AFK message. Seems to me it is tragedy that's wearing the pants in this particular relationship. The law is a fickle guide. Is it not? Is not it? Seems to me it is tragedy that is wearing the pants of this particular relationship.
Quite. Same goes for any relationship. One wears the pants, the other the jetpack.
Uh-huh. Alright, very good.
Now, as for the imps, understandably they were a mite upset, going so far as to accuse me of bias, but I easily dismissed their misgivings. There was no evidence against Sapphire Cave, and that's that. I upheld the law, and thereby did my sacred duty.
So, like, you took the metaphor of wearing a pants in the relationship and made it some, like, joking commentary about us? I do actually wear a jetpack when I'm a dragon. Do you wear pants? Perhaps under the dress? I don't know. If this is sort of like a power sort of control exchange thing, I will say I think I'd rather wear a jetpack in a relationship than pants. That could be it too, Tangled. But I definitively know I wear a jetpack. That means that she can't be the one wearing a jetpack. That means she has to be wearing the pants. Again, in return, like, power dynamics, I'm gonna level with you, chat room. I wear the jetpack in the relationship as opposed to I wear the pants in relationship. I feel like the jetpack is more powerful. I feel like the jetpack is a stronger voice in saying things. Perhaps that's just my bias. But based off of, I don't know, everything forever? Jetpack greater than symbol pants? If you gave me the choice between having a working jetpack that can do everything that a jetpack can do in this video game, or pants, I think I could wear, like, cargo shorts for the rest of my fucking life. Hell, give me a skirt. I don't give a fuck. I have a jetpack. I could get over it. I really do like jeans, but you know what? I think I can let them go. I'm willing to file jeans under the pants category and sacrifice them in exchange for a jetpack. Let's bring this. That seems pretty good. I don't know, we kind of got a lot of cool abilities going on right now. I'm just thinking out loud, you know, just, you know, We against air units and ironclads. Juggernauts are battleships. And ironclads are destroyers, is what I have gotten. Alright, very good. Plenty of gold to build those suckers. That makes sense. Let's grab these Devastators. I want to have those at some point. Give them enhanced engines, so they travel even faster. And we'll keep it moving from there. Okay, where were we? What was happening? What's going on? What is even real right now? Something court cases, something. Kalen, 69 months on that tier 1 subscription. Plenty of money from Kalen, not just over Twitch, but through other means as well. Big Twitch has appreciated their cuts doubtlessly, and frankly, I've appreciated this too. Thank you. So when last we left off, there was a Devastator here. Maybe that bomber balloon's gonna go join it. I couldn't say. What I do know, what I can say, is that Yellow did take this island. You open the box. But of course, it was always war from the get-go, chat room. It was always war. Let's go. I will leave a Grenadier behind, I think. And push everything else forward. We'll take this, get some more gold, get some more research. And if this ends up provoking a backlash, we'll see. I am also considering at this moment, since I am moving like this, severing the connection between green and yellow. Since green has been getting the upper end of this, upper hand, yellow has divested resources over toward me and the islands. Hell, all the postcards? Fuck yeah. Well, these months will be in the mailbox by the end of this week. Ideally Friday at latest. I could go to Saturday too. Saturday is the end of the week, of course, for me. Wink, wink. Glad you've been enjoying them. We're gonna go back to Richard's scary artwork now that Easter time is over. I still have Richard Scary postcards, plenty of them. So we won that fight. Hip hip hooray. We moved the transport here, and we have many more transports. Hip hip hooray. Yeah. All right, cool. Here's what's gonna happen. We got brief glimpses at all of like the character profiles a little bit in shadow during the cutscene to Chapter 2 Tangled. Blue, green, and yellow. Yeah, they're all half-siblings of mine. Carthan, Sibyl, and Farron. You can see that very... In the center there, above public opinion, in the bottom middle, there is a little shadowy cutout of how they looked during that cinematic of Chapter 2. And I mean, it's a little shadowy look. Carthan, Sibyl or Sybil, and then Farron. Okay. So we've got plenty of clay. I would like these islands. We're going to be taking this, I presume. That doesn't even have any defenders in it. I don't think I'm going to run anyone into that. I don't know how the armor is going to behave. Do I have a card to play on armor? No. I have a card to play on bomber balloons. Is this now my time to shine with bomber balloons? Yes! Lock them there! Finally, the card my wife gave me. Ha-ha! Okay. Hey. I guess you can do that. That's fine. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to load up a bunch of troopers. We're going to load up Tilt's head in contemplation. Thinking about whether I want this or whether I want to, what I might want to go after. Okay. That's what we'll do. You two. Just move you there so it's easier for me to see. Grenadier. I know you live there. Get over here. Disembark. All right. Ironclad. You move over here. I guess you can move into there, too. We'll see. All right. This transport. You are going to take all 5 troopers. Come over here. Disembark. Imp fighters. Come over here. ironclads. See, we have 3 over there. I don't know in what situation or condition or positioning Blue may be able to build more sea units with the very limited territory Blue has left. I don't know if the adversaries get any cheats or what flavor of cheats they may obtain. Okay. We're moving in there. My invasioning of here could potentially happen with me building a transport here and maybe splitting off some units. There's a juggernaut over there. Bunch of transports in here, of course. It might be for the better if Green actually tries to do a naval invasion of some kind, because that gets units separated off and toward the capital. Musing about that. Okay. I'm going to say 3 ironclads is good enough to handle whatever's going to happen there this turn. Let's move these kids. We're strong against air units, ostensibly. Yeah, maybe we can engage that bomber balloon. Okay. As for where I want to make more units, my 27 gold. Gold. It makes the world go round. Give me 2 armor here. I need cards in order to place down buildings. That's how you get more of those. I think I'm also going to just strengthen more of this side. Yeah. I can build 1 more unit here. Could be another imp fighter. I think so. Give me another imp fighter. Then with 7 gold left, another pair of transport, another pair of troopers here. Oh yeah, this transport. Speaking of things. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. Give me 1 armor. Give me a hunter. We're going to move out there. And I think I'm going to send 2 fighters with it. I'm going to put 1 fighter over here. Looking at the token of that M fighter. That leaves just my capital with 2 of those. Why don't you potentially get me... not gonna let me squeak that out with my 7 gold. A Zeppelin? Medium-class aerial unit that greatly increased the firing range of units nearby. Give me another pair of troopers. But we can recruit them 1 at a time. No, quit fucking around with that. Just give me a shaman. Alright. That'll be the end of my turn. More stuff gets shuffled around. Going into trance. I figured some landing would happen there based on that. That's okay. No War Factory stuff can happen there. Ooh. A lot of recruiting happening. The units are getting brought back over to the mainland. That's wise. Okay. First off, we'll see where we go. See where the road takes us. It's here to this island, and, yeah. Fuck you. I'm taking that back. Then over here, ooh. Yellow here wanting to protect them bomber balloons. And recruiting 2 mercenary shamans. I've got my ironclads. Let's say they move really slow. I could throw Edmund in here for a 37% chance to win, it looks like. What are percentages? What is math? We're not going to have... We're just going to have that. This is, it's a naval fight here. I'm going to have to somehow dodge those bomber balloons? Me, like, producing things. Actually going to improve the odds of Edmund winning? Interesting. When else would I play this card? Will you allow me to squeak in all sorts of things? I don't know. Now these other cards are going to assist here. Sure, I can produce bomber balloons for an extra percentage, but I think I'll go ahead and show up on this fight myself. We are strong against air units, so there is that. Let's go. These abilities? No, I have a new one now. No, I just chose to do... I chose to do more researches instead for my units. Let's go. Alright, Grumio's Quarry. Just a momentary little bit as a treat of grabbing these.
We'll be back before happy hour.
Hotkeying them.
Dropping nautical mines? But I was just getting...
Yeah, you were just getting yourself a drink. Got it, understood. I gotta get used to not moving 75% quicker like we did. Are you gonna go try to land someone somewhere, dude? It looks like you might be trying to do that.
They will get hammered, and not in the good way. We'll be back before happy hour. More steam power. We'll be back before happy hour.
Definitely going to do that, it looked like. Maybe going back now to retreat to heal up from the little bit of damage it took. I can't pull out the dragon, because I don't have a recruitment center. I guess you're not going back to heal. Okay.
We'll be back before happy hour. But I was just getting me a beer, sir. Easy, like blowing up a mine shaft. More steam power. Drawing the iron curtain. Drawing the iron curtain. Adding coal to the fire.
Okie dokie.
We'll be back before happy hour.
Hey, bomber balloons. So my mines aren't going to be able to help me against these. We're going to be leaning on ironclad aerial defenses, I guess. We took a little bit of damage.
Solid gold.
Oh, shit. No. The shamans. Nope. Get away from that situation. Thanks. Please. Get those passive shields actually could reach out further than what I thought they could.
Easy, like blowing up a mine shaft. More steam power. Drawing the iron.
That's that shield's a 50% damage reduction. It will eventually expire. We don't need to chance anything.
Adding coal to the fire. Adding coal to the fire. We'll be back before happy hour.
You know, real-time strategy games do have that trend of, you know, lots of repeating commands whenever you click on things and move them around and what have you. Sometimes the sounds of them can really wear on you, even when they're not obtrusive, or they don't say much, like yep, uh-huh, or mm-hmm, or sure thing. Sometimes they do wear on you. So yeah, as we know, ironclads are destroyers, and they work very well against air units. We took care of the transport. We didn't even take any damage against those balloon brigades. Alright, fine. You guys want to be fucking shielded, you amphibious bastards? Fine. It's not a bowstring, it's a G. Oh, never. They're amphibious and you can't attack them? Huh. Huh. Hmm. Wasn't expecting. It's a light class ground unit whose primary function is to heal other units, and we can't attack ground units. No, they don't have a base. It's a naval confrontation. There is no base. Just like I have no base.
More steam power. Ho ho ho, and a bottle of ale. Adding coal to the fire.
Boy, I'm glad this design decision can pop up.
I was just getting me a beer, sir. Throwing the iron.
Well, let's see if a sea mine can affect the ground unit that is floating over the water.
Adding coal to the fire.
Enemy shamans can shield their allies. Better take them out before they can do so.
Yeah, they can definitely shield their allies, which is a damage mitigation thing. It's because they're ground units. It's because they're ground units. And our ironclads can shoot naval units and aerial targets, but not ground units. We have nothing to destroy their shaman mercenaries. But they have nothing they can use to destroy us. We had this problem, like, show up earlier this broadcast with a trooper that had landed from a transport, but thankfully it dove onto my ships and suicided. I can't bring out the dragon because I need a recruitment citadel. In our naval confrontation, there is nothing with which to recruit or recruit from. So I'd have needed to auto-resolve this battle and let things somehow get resolved through that. Or I'm going to have to retreat and just take a loss here and have all of my ironclads blow up. Or if a bunch of time passes, like a half hour, because we've seen that on the land maps, you know, when troops run out of recruitment things, but that's never going to happen on this map. It's just the way it is. I can't attack ground units with ironclads. And these units can't do anything to me. So they reduce any incoming damage with their shields by 50%. And negative status effects such as fear or sabotage are nullified. And they can heal ally. Well, let's enjoy the rest of the interface. We got this over here so we can see what happened in the rest of the turn. I don't know. I haven't looked up cheats for Divinity Dragon Commander. That's never been anything that would have crossed my mind to play the video game. Again, asking me these questions like I don't know the answer. I'll sit here for a few minutes. I don't have anything to do else with my life. After all, I am ostensibly going to be broadcasting this for another 2.5 hours. A little bit less than that, I guess, at this point. Let me go ahead and take off the compression braces. Doesn't look like I'm going to be needing these. Yes, are amphibious units that look like they're flying, but they're not flying. They're hovering ground units over the water. Are immune to my ironclads that shoot naval and aerial targets, but not ground targets. This is a great example, I think, of poor design decisions I don't think are solved just by adding more money. There I go, playing out the battle manually. Looks like, based on my game knowledge anyway, that this is a stalemate. And since the bot has, you know, limitless time in this world, I'm in a bit of a pickle. Yeah, the ability for this unit to be active and able to move around in the ocean, floating above the ocean, and having ships that are completely incapable of dealing with that unit hovering above the water is a bad design decision. Yes, Jonathan, it is reasonable that more money could have gone into more quality assurance, which could have turned into this sort of thing. Which could have resulted in, hey, is this an intended choice? Is this a good choice? Of course, if there were going to be a timeout thing that would happen, we've seen that take up to a half hour before, so I'm thinking no. All right. Well, let's go ahead and slide the compression braces back on. Because I do, in fact, not actually intend to sit here for that fucking long. Yeah, keep in mind that Original Sin was also partially, like, kickstarted, too. My understanding is that Dragon Commander had been intended to be, like, the game that got more resources over the two, like, given its intricacy. And then just Original Sin ended up getting more focus and attention, which, like, Original Sin, quality video game. Divinity Dragon Commander has qualities. A video game with qualities. You know, we haven't spent a whole lot of time looking at the prettyful world. Oh, I can traverse a little bit beyond the mission box. Yeah, you really get a Total War vibe from these real-time strategy battles, particularly in situations like this. Gotta say though, well, across all my experiences playing Total War games, there were also situations where I needed to let a timer run out. So, you know. Couldn't say. Alright. Guess I'm gonna go ahead and click retreat. Yeah, I'll surrender. Rivalon Times, Wartime Edition. Total casualties of war, 35,434. Raped, remanded, and sentenced. Lady Justice spits on molested imp chambermaid. Those were 2 sentences I always dreamed of saying live on twitch.tv/Grimith. Glad we could fulfill that life goal. It's like I'm a character in one of the later Sims games, and I have accrued lifestyle points or whatever I could invest in something big because of that accomplishment. We haven't even gone 3 hours. I'm going to go ahead and put an end to the broadcast here. I don't think I'm in the correct headspace anymore to be able to play more Divinity Dragon Commander. Should this game ever be picked back up, perhaps I would load from this space and replay the turn. Perhaps, we'll just deal with, that incredible victory those shamans scored over me. I've been rolling with all the other losses. Why not roll with that one, too? No, you're not getting anything else broadcasted tonight. The stream is fucking over. You greedy son of a bitch. Get the fuck out of my stream. What the fuck? Streamer, you haven't bled enough for me tonight. Dance for me more, you dumb son of a bitch, streamer. Fuck off. Give me more things to watch. I need more consumables. Streamer, I haven't come yet. I've been edging for so long. Help me, please. All I can do is stare at Oblivion Remastered faces. You're my only hope. Make Yorick do the facial animations again. What the fuck, Akazar? Oh. That annoyed me more than, than that battle just did. That was a design oversight. You writing that into my text box, that's a you oversight. Yeah, I'm probably open to playing this video game again. I think I'll keep it on the Discord viewer poll to win more polls. It probably shouldn't win the next Discord viewer poll, though. Gotta put that one out there. You should probably let this game have a break. I won't uninstall it. It can be here, but I am no longer in the headspace to play this video game. Between what happened with the role-playing stuff and what just happened on that battle map, I am able to overlook some design oversights. I'm not able to overlook all design oversights hitting me at once. Apology accepted. If there was a way to resolve that battle situation with the mechanics of the video game, I am unaware of it, and it's not like the tutorial made that one clear to me. And I don't think that one's covered in the instruction manual either. Perhaps an expert could have handled that without needing to resort to just auto-resolve to begin with. I just think, though, it's a reasonable assumption that you see the amphibious unit floating over the water. The destroyer able to shoot naval and air units would also be able to shoot it, but I guess the amphibious unit gets so low to the water that we can't ram it like you could in a Silent Hunter video game, but we can't shoot it like you would be able to do in a Silent Hunter video game. So we had no tools. Our retreat option was just blowing up the ships. What a fucking design choice. They were mercenaries hired by a card for that fight. I would have, like, if I had imp fighters or, I guess, juggernauts, that could have handled them. Something other than ships vying for naval superiority. I would have thought my ironclads capable of dishing out naval supremacy and aerial supremacy from the water would be a way to go, but those blimp things that aren't actually, they're not the Zeppelins. They just float over the water, said not so fast, my friend. Yeah. And based on my attitude, I would continue to bleed resentment and frustration toward the game, and also possibly toward chat as well.